Hello and welcome. You are on the platform of Safety First. Today I'm discussing about safety training, why it is important and who need training. I'm your host Javed. If you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, and if you find the video informative, then like, comment and share with your friends. Dear friends and fellows, training means helping people to learn how to do something, telling people what they should do and what they should not, or simply giving them information and knowledge. Remember, training is not just about formal classroom courses. Sometimes it is operational, sometimes it is on job, and sometimes it is online, distance learning mode. Here the question is why to provide health and safety training, why it is important. Dear friends and fellows, providing health and safety information and training helps you that people who work for you know how to work safely and without risk to health. Develop a positive health and safety culture where safe and healthy working becomes second nature of everyone. Meet your legal duty to protect the health and safety of your employees. Do you know what constitutes an effective training? Effective training will contribute towards making your employees competent in health and safety. Effective training can help your business avoid the distress that accidents and ill health cause. Effective training can help you avoid the financial costs of accidents and occupational ill health, such as damaged products, lost production, and demotivated staff. Don't forget that your insurance companies might not cover all these costs. Dear friends and fellows, let us look what the law says about health and safety training at work. The Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 requires you to provide whatever information, instruction, training and supervision as is necessary to ensure, so far as is reasonably practicable, the health and safety at work of your employees. This is expanded by the Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999, which identify situations where health and safety training is particularly important. For example, when people start work on exposure to new or increased risks and where existing skills may have become rusty or need updating. These are the conditions you have to understand in a better way prior to cause an accident in your workplace. Like many employers, you may not be in a position to provide this training on your own, in which case you will need competent help. If possible, you should appoint one or more of your employees as HSC trainers. The Safety Representatives and Safety Committees Regulation 1977 and the Health and Safety Consultation with Employees Regulation 1996 requires you to consult your employees or their representatives on health and safety issues. Representatives appointed under either of these sets of regulations are entitled to time off with pay for training in their duties. The Health and Safety Training for Employment Regulations 1990 ensure that learners doing work experience are covered by health and safety law. There are a number of other regulations that include specific health and safety training requirements, such as asbestos, diving, and first aid. Dear friends and fellows, here the question is who needs health and safety training? You do. Whether you are an employer or self-employed, are you sure that you are up to date with how to identify the hazards and control the risks from your workplace? Do you know how to get help from your trade associations, your local chamber of commerce, or your health and safety enforcing authority? Do you know what you have to do about consulting your employees or their representatives on health and safety issues? If not, you would probably benefit from some sort of training that is required for you to update your skills and competency level. Secondly, training is required for your managers and supervisors. If you employ managers or supervisors, they need to know what you expect from them in terms of health and safety and how you expect them to deliver. They need to understand your health and safety policy, where they fit in, and how you want health and safety managed. They may also need training in the specific hazards of your processes and how you expect the risks to be controlled. Number three, training is required for your employees. Everyone who works for you, including self-employed people, needs to know how to work safely and without risks to health. Like your supervisors, they need to know. They need to know about your health and safety policy, your arrangements for implementing it, and the part they play. They also need to know how they can raise any health and safety concerns with you or your representatives. Dear friends and fellows, what about the contractors and self-employed people who may be working for you? Remember, these people might not be familiar with your working environment and safety systems that you have put in place for regular employees. In these conditions or in this situation, you should take into account the capabilities, training, knowledge, and experience of workers and ensure that the demands of the job don't exceed their ability to carry out their work without risk to themselves and others. Dear friends and fellows, you are watching Safety First. Today we are discussing about the importance of health and safety training. The most important question is how to train over workforce, over staff, and over employees. Who can do it and how to do it? Firstly, you should show your commitment so the people being trained recognize that the training is important. You should consult your employees or their representatives on the planning and organization of the training. You should make sure that you properly prioritize and plan the training needs for your business. You may have appointed somebody to give you competent assistance. In addition to that, you have to follow the 5-step approach. Step number 1, decide what training your organization needs. Dear friends and fellows, identify the skills and knowledge needed for people to do their job in a safe and healthy way. Compare these against people's current skills and knowledge and identify the gaps. Number 2, review your experience of injuries, near misses, or cases of ill health. Number 3, look at your risk assessments to see where information and or training have been identified as factors in controlling risk. Number 4, consider awareness training needs for everyone, including directors, managers, and supervisors, including how you manage health and safety, who is responsible for what, the cost to the business if things go wrong, how to identify hazards and evaluate risks, and the hazards encountered and measures for controlling them. All these points must be considered in step number one, deciding what training your organization needs. Let us discuss now the step number two, decide your training priorities. Does the law require you to carry out specific training? For example, first aid training. Priorities should include those where lack of information and or training might result in serious harm, those that benefit the largest numbers of staff. New recruits are those new to the working environment, people changing jobs, working practices are taking on new responsibilities, and people using new equipment. Once you will decide about the priorities, you have to consider these vital points. You have to consult employees and their representatives for their point of views. You must provide training during working hours and not at the expense of your employees. Special arrangements may be needed for part-timers or shift workers. Step number three, choose your training methods and resources. Dear friends and colleagues, don't forget that though there are many external trainers who can help you, much effective training can be done in-house. You have to select and choose your methods. For example, giving information or instruction, coaching or on-the-job training, training in the classroom, open and distance learning, in groups or individually, and computer-based or interactive learning. This is entirely your own part, depending on your workplace, your workforce, and your nature of activities, hazards, and control measures requirement. You should make sure that you meet the training needs of all of your workforce, including migrant workers who might not have good English. Also, people with poor literacy skills or those with disabilities such as the sight or hearing. Consider who can help by providing you with information, materials, training courses, etc. You could try to different resources. For example, national occupational standards, trade unions or trade associations, educational colleges and universities, private training organizations and institutions, independent health and safety consultants, employer bodies, for example, chambers of commerce, and qualification awarding bodies like IOSH, Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, IIRSM, the International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. As an employer, you have to find detailed information and advice on skills and training. It may include the impact of training on business performance, identifying training needs, training methods, how to set up in-house training, how to evaluate your training, how to find a training provider or course, and learning through networking with others. Dear friends and fellows, let us discuss now step number 4, how to deliver the training, what to consider while delivering safety and health training. You have to make sure the information is easy to understand and try to use a variety of training methods to deliver your message. You have to make sure the trainers have enough time to prepare themselves, their resources, and the venue. Preparation is particularly important for people who are not experienced trainers. At this point, you have to consider the native language of the individuals who need safety and health training, how they can gain maximum knowledge, how they can improve their performance by improving their skills. It is depending on the trainer how much he or she is able to convey in an easy and a flexible way, the way which people may understand best. Let us discuss now step number 5, the last step. Check that the training has worked. You have to evaluate the training. Is it working? What points you have to consider while evaluating the training? It is workable or not. Do your employees understand what you require of them? Do they now have the knowledge and skills needed to work safely and without risk to health? Are they actually working as they have been trained to? Has there been any improvement in your organization's health and safety performance? What feedback are you getting from line managers and the people who have been trained? Is further information and or training needed? Was the most suitable training method used? What improvements can be made? Has there been a change in behavior and practice while working at site? It can help you manage training if you keep records, even if it is in-house training. You should monitor training records so that refresher training can be given when needed. Dear HSC professionals, practitioners, colleagues and fellows, you have to consider these points if you are interested to give or deliver a quality health and safety training to your workforce, to your colleagues, to your supervisory staffs, or even to your line managers. Without following this 5-step approach, you will not be able to get the desired results. It's up to you how you can make your training effective and workable in your business. But remember, training is required for everyone, even it starts from the top, director level, to your employees in the bottom line. And that's all for now. Training session is over now. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and share the video with your fellows, colleagues and friends. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Till then, take care. Good luck and Allah Hafiz.